This one looks like it's going to be a busy racetrack. We're not going to waste any time, man. Lights out already.
Double them up. 20 laps for this Bandolero feature event. Front row and pole position on this one, as we saw a little bit earlier on this evening. The 48 machine of Cody Kimmelay. And we are wrecking on the pace lap.
Well.
So the lights are going to come back on. I did not see what happened. I was taking a look at the folks up front. So the pace car is going to catch up to the field.
Well, I guess that gives us a lap to line up.
Yeah, we can let you know where everybody is. So Emilio Thompson's going to be joining the 48 on the front row. That's the 14 machine top side. Row number 2, Jesse Love and Adam Lemke. Third and fourth. Back on row 3, Chloe Lynch will start P5 with Dustin Mitchell. Can't combine Michael and Michael in P6. You got Nick Cudson in the number 7 spot. Chase Rothwell starting tonight 8th. Trip Rothwell behind in 9th with Tyler Reef to round out your top 10. Matthew Cunningham, Owen Romzik make up row number 6 with Ethan Navarra and Casey Klein in row 7. Landon Gresser, Jody Harbert through 15th and 16th with Elena Danko and Branch Danko in 17th and 18th position, top to bottom. Big field for this 20-lap feature.
Yeah, absolutely. They were expecting around 20 cars. I think we got close to it. So, Bandolero's all ready to go. We got, I believe, one to go next time by. Track looks good. You look good, Evan. I look good. And that's all that matters here tonight.
We'll send them this time. Pace car is off and away. Field in control of the 48 machine, and we are Bandolero feature racing for the Bullring. The first of 20 laps. Big field. Tries to navigate 1 and 2.
And one thing about this event, unlike a lot of others here at the Bullring, usually we have them separated by age. Not tonight. We've got them all combined. So the biggest field of Bandoleros that these drivers possibly could be used to driving with.
I think we're about single file for the top 8 or 9. You're watching that fight just outside of the top 10. I believe that's led by the 12 machine, looks like, on the inside of the racetrack and all of that. So this fight going on behind your race leaders. Race lead still to the 48 machine, but a fight for second maybe inbound, and it's Jesse Love going forwards. Pass on the outside. The 14 not going to give it up, though. Side by side once more as Thompson fights back.
Good battle through this one. Driver's full throttle on the gas. And no lifting. One little burp out of the throttle, you will lose some time and definitely some spots if there's anybody right on your back bumper. One groove racetrack for these Bandoleros. They want to keep it tight on that yellow line. And if you don't, there'll be someone behind you that will not have any problem moving you or taking that spot if you give them an inch.
In this battle for, looks like about 7th on the back or so. A lot of side-by-side. We saw some up for P5 not all that long ago, and the fight, it really goes all the way to tailing outside of the top 10. So everybody fighting for something here tonight. See the back 4 cars even nice and tight together. Everybody chasing down 35.
Traffic for your leaders. Thompson in the 2nd spot. He goes to the outside of the 44. They drive around. Slow traffic stays low, so all these drivers are going to have to go on the outside. And if you're like the 4 machine and you're giving the inside groove a lot of room, that's where it gets kind of confusing.
Spinning out of turn number 2. Caution's out. It's a 50 of Chloe Lynch. Was scored in P4 at the time in another car around now. 72 of Romzik. I believe not related. I'm not sure. But 2 cars did go around, so we slow it down after 6 laps. And for these machines being something that you just hold down all the way around, they have been some of the most, trying to think of a word, they have not been, I mean, friendly to drive. We've seen people getting all kinds of out of shape, especially on restarts, and that was 2 people in turn number 2.
Yeah, these things are a handful, and there's barely any suspension. And every bump on the track can upset the car very easily. And it's a challenge. I mean, to have a handle the setup car is one thing. To be able to drive through those bumps and bounces and everybody else on track, that's where it can be a real challenge. And that's where the driving comes into play.
Emilio Thompson is a 2-time winner here at the Bullring, and he's won, I believe, our most recent event out here.
The 4B is not either. Let's see here. Give a people the idea of what's going on.
Okay, race controls getting them lined up here.
4B's getting sent to the back. I believe that's because the 44 and the 4B are already scored a lap down, so they're going to send the lap machines behind everybody else. And that's the delay on getting green. And a single file restart due up with 6 laps complete.
And we're listening to the wonderful voice of Tim Richter, who we joke because we're from California. Every driver on this track, oh, trouble back here.
Again, oh.
And one
went up and over that camo car.
Yeah, stack up here at the start.
Can't see what number the camo car is because I can't see it. But
Well, I was going to make a joke about a Richter scale because Tim Richter's the race director, but now that was a California shakeup on the back straightaway.
we got 3 cars stopped back there. The one machine that actually went up and over is okay. I think that might have been Klein. Climbed over the front of that car that stopped halfway down the back straightaway. But then again, there's also those 2 cars to the left of your screen stopped as well. And safety officials, looks like they've got one of those cars refired. And they're going to red flag it.
See if we can see a replay here. You're going to happen to the right of the screen. This is where I realize what's going on out of the corner of my eye. Yeah, you can see right there. They're the stack up, and then you can tell they're the black bumper that was on the back of the 98 machine.
Of Lemke, who had some help getting around.
And watch Lemke's 98 machine get all squirrely, and that's where the stack up begins. And then look at the top of your screen.
There was already the one right here is where the front end gets in the air.
He's up and climbs him.
Can't go around it, go over it. That's like 5 cars total that are all kinds of out of shape there.
Don't forget, folks, when you tell your friends about the Bullring, make sure you tell them that all children from 12 and under can enter free to the races at the Bullring when accompanied by a ticketed adult.
Well, it's taken a while to get this race restarted, lap number 6.
Well, we had quite the delay last night too, but it was at the end of the evening, and it was obviously very different circumstances because we had about 2 complete rings of oil all the way around this place. There's about 8 laps left to go in the whole night.
It definitely looked like an image that I would draw of the solar system.
But we don't even have to go to the dirt track to get dirt track racing because they had
No.
so much speedy dry on track.
And it did play into a part of that race. They were slipping and sliding there at the tail end of that race.
It forced everybody to get on the very inside and made passing. On top of the fact that it's already difficult in those cars at a racetrack like this, and that much more difficult because if even you get just the right side tires up into that slick stuff. It is not fun. And
Yeah.
just gets dirty on the racetrack. So luckily enough, there was only 8 laps to go. The track is in perfect condition for today. They got everything taken care of overnight and in the morning and through practice and our heat races tonight if you were with us earlier on. But I think this is what most people have been waiting for.
Well, I sure hope so. Imagine the ones that tuned out. I mean, I guess if
Tuned
you're
in just for the heat races?
yeah, and then said, okay, that was enough for me. I guess technically, if there is a disgruntled viewer who did not get through the B main, they might have tuned out already and went to the bar.
If you're watching somebody who wasn't able to make it through those B features.
Yeah. But I'd hope not.
At least tune in to make sure that the guy you hate doesn't win.
There you go.
At very minimum. At very minimum.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. Just the root against.
Yeah. If you can't root for, there's always somebody to root against.
All right, lights out. Here we go.
We'll try it again.
Race car is on.
Kimberly on the front row. You can see getting some help by Thompson. They're already pushing each other in the center with 3 and 4. They got to wait until the exit of the box. The green flag comes out. We're back at it. 14 to go.
All that pushing from Thompson, he will gap him by a car length or 2 on this first lap. So Kimberly with a fast number 48 here tonight.
Saw a small bobble from that 38 machine of love that time at turn 4, but everything A-OK at least up at the front of the field, and you can see single filing out for the most part with the exception of that 14M of Dustin Mitchell, who was way up top. Moving up the inside for the 31E, I believe, and Tyler Reif to go to the inside for that matter.
Oh, and trouble around is the number 35. Spins it out. I think we're going to stay green. He pulls it back into the infield. See if he obeys.
Yeah, they want him to turn to the right to get back going. The car, I believe, is under fire, and the caution flag is out. Somebody else has stopped. That's why we were keeping it over here. Another car parked down in turn 4, the 31, I believe.
That's
that
a
is.
31E.
So that's Tyler Reif. There's a couple of 31s.
Yes, we were talking about that in the heats.
And they look very similar.
Yep, the only difference, and this is a terrible joke for any announcer, the only difference is the letters in front of the number. Other than that, they're all the same. Well, the 35 did not turn right, but continues on, and the 31 is going to need some assistance by way of a tow truck, it looks like.
And the way it's parked, again, we didn't see it because we were looking at turn 2. The way it's parked, it doesn't look like it spun out. It just kind of parked nice and tight up against the yellow line. I'm not quite sure. So it would appear the 31E is done for the night as Tyler Reif takes the hook back to the pit area. And our other stranded vehicle has since gotten off and moving again. So we're back to pacing and some work to be done by race control to get everybody back in the right order. A warning to avoid more issues on the back straightaway. You can tell that these guys really want to get up and get going because that's twice tonight in 8 laps that we've seen some issues on the back, and Race control reminding the 48 machine Kimberly to not get going until the box.
Don't do it. Get grounded. So 8 of 20.
And the 31 is off again.
Teammate.
Up front, though, no issues. 48 machine of Kimberly up in front. 14 machine of Emilio Thompson, P2. Jesse Love, P3. Single file Vega off to turn number 3. Side by side from fourth behind. You see that coming into your picture. I think it was Adam Lemke who was going to the inside, and it did not work out at all. Ended up getting pushed way wide, and now the 14 machine looks like way up top as well. 14M with Dustin Mitchell.
These three have been slicing and dicing this entire race. Lemke leading the pack in the 98. Mitchell in the tail of the pack. And it seems like these restarts have helped Lemke in the 98. As we see a battle for the second spot starting to brew up. 38 of Love. Looking all around the 14, trying to see what's ahead of him and where to get to that leader.
Well, we've been seeing people look high, look low, try to get a little bit creative, especially in these, but he's really been trying different entries, and a couple of times it's worked. That time it did not work. You saw the big gap grow. Race leader now working around lap traffic. Not going to be an issue. They stay high and out of the way. The 14 machine is going to go high on them, though. I think race control was saying earlier, if you're slow, stay low. And without a whole lot of room for Thompson that time, they weren't all the way on the bottom.
I think that
still makes the move.
I think what you just saw, folks, the lap traffic sliding high, if you will, pushing wide, was exactly the example that the race director wanted to set. And now we've got leaders on the inside and the outside of lap traffic, which can get hairy after a while.
If you're gonna be low, you gotta commit to that yellow line, or you're gonna have drivers on the left and right like that.
And the leaders, they're used to passing the slow cars on the outside, but when someone's giving you the lane,
there you go.
You gotta take it, and around it's a 50.
Chloe Lynch, second time tonight. That car's going to stay rolling, and I think we are going to stay green. The yellow flag was in hand from the tower, but it's not going to drop, and that's a tough break. And that's basically what we thought was going to happen in turn 2.
And
it happened in turn 4.
Trouble for the 38, the third spot driver. Off the track, Jesse Love in turns 1 and 2.
And he is still slow, not looking like he's trying to get back up to speed, so you might have an issue with this car that's going to take him out of this thing.
It's a tough break for Jesse. He's trying to race as many events as he can this weekend. As your leader. Now a big gap between first and second. Here's Kimberly in the number 48 machine out of turn number 4 across the stripe. And we're second way over here.
So with Love out of the picture, Knudsen jumps up to third in this one. Lemke assumes fourth, and Matthew Cunningham has broken into the top 5 for the first time tonight, but it'll be Popsicle 6 in the air, 2 to go. Next time by the start-finish line.
No big changes here. Nobody really starting to brew up a battle. Looking through, this is the closest one we got, and they're not keeping it tight. So we'll go over here to the leader, Cody Kimley, champion racer out at Orange Show Speedway, looking to bring that San Bernardino charm to Vegas as he takes a white flag into turn number 1.
And there was no guarantee with that loud traffic based on what we had seen earlier, so he took his time, nice and easy. And with the gap to do so, it is going to be a comfortable gap to turns 3 and 4 for the final time. And Cody Kimley is going to come off and take the checkered flag and win the Bandolero feature.
So good racing. Thompson finishing second. The number 14, as he was kind of stuck there from the start.
No changes from behind. You got Knudsen still third, Lemke P4, and Cunningham in fifth. Dustin Mitchell, Chase Rothwell, Owen Romzik, Trip Rothwell, and Landon Gresser to round out the top 10. Continuing on through 11th place is Jordy Habert, with Casey Klein with an issue coming home 12th. Chloe Lynch ends up 13th position with Elena Danko in 14th. Branch Danko in 15th position. Jesse Love a P16 at the end of the night. The 31D of Ethan Guevara in 17th and Tyler Reef 18th. As a look top to bottom at your complete Bandolero feature finishing results.
The future stars of motorsports right here is Cody Kimley putting it back in victory lane.
Right behind the speaker.
Yeah, right behind. These drivers here at the Bullring are usually good with that. A lot of the times in victory lane, like after the super late model race, Lenny White the last couple years has done amazingly great donuts and then parked it right behind the flag stand for us.
Okay.
You know, all that fun
If he's
stuff.
anywhere near the black and white checker, we'll be good.
Correct.
And
Sending it downstairs.
If he can win the feature, he can park it there, I'd say.
Very true. We're going to send it down for the winning interview.
Pit Boss has a nice trophy for you, Cody. Let me chat with you here a minute. Congrats on another win. That's your 7th of the year here. You just dialed in this car at this track.
Yeah, most of the car. Ryan Vargas built this car. It went to RJ Smotherman and then came right back to him.
And what was your mentality with the restarts and everything? What were you focusing on?
I was just focused because the car's it doesn't go right away. So I was just focused on getting it into turn 1 and then I'm good from there.
What do you think about winning this big trophy on the Senators Cup night with the Senator here?
I've always wanted to win this. This car is now officially a year old. Last race, we probably would have won it, but our bumper came off going into turn 1 the first lap. It's just been amazing.
And how old are you and where are you from?
I'm 11 years old, and I'm from California, Paris, Riverside.
All right, everybody give it up for Cody.